Wow, welcome to my video, guys. This is Rose, and today we're gonna be talking about 10 things that we should be doing in our 20s. Doesn't matter whether it's early 20s or it's a late 20s. But before we do that, guys, I'm having a bad hair day, okay? Don't judge me. We're not meant to be perfect. That's not an excuse, but yeah, I've tried, okay? I have tried, and this is not the best that I could come up with. I could have done better, but the energy is not there. And also, I'm having like really bad headaches, and that's why I have this thing on my mouth. It always comes when I'm having headaches. So hopefully, it's gonna go away, and my headaches are gonna go away, and everything's gonna get back to normal. But this video had to be recorded. I had to do this. I wanted to do this, and so we are doing it. So let's get into the video. So I have the 10 things written down in my notebook, and I'm gonna be referring to it so that I don't go off track or I don't forget anything. So the first thing that I think we should do, or we should be doing, or we should be able to do in our 20s is swimming. You should know how to swim. I should know how to swim. We should know how to swim. Although I must say that I can't swim. But I am going to learn to swim. This has been a goal this year. Like, yeah, I wanted to do this before the end of this year, but I couldn't because the lockdowns, the swimming pools are closed. Oh, and guys, please bear with me, like there's so much noise around because everybody just seems to be busy right now doing their stuff. There's a lady cooking down there, and for some reason, like, everybody just wants to use the back road, like yo. But yeah, let's focus on the video and let's get this done. So the first thing is to learn how to swim. Not only is swimming fun, but it can also save your life. God forbid any of us die because you drowned. But if you can swim, I mean, you can save your life, and maybe you can save somebody else's life. So swimming is actually really important and fun. So the second thing that we should be doing in our 20s is reading. Okay? Reading, it just broadens up your knowledge. It makes you informed, and you can actually positively or significantly contribute to discussions, because if you read books and you read widely, not only books, but it could be also articles on the internet, you become informed, you become educated, and you become aware. You can make informed decision, and you can actually think more rational when you read more. Okay, so the third thing that you need to be doing in your 20s is you need to be consciously and be very careful when choosing friends. Okay, so the company that you keep, it really makes a big difference in your life. If you keep around people that bring you down, that talk down on you, before you know it, even though you don't believe it, but you're always going to just aim low, or just maybe just be on the low, like your mood is not always as it should be. It could be mainly because of the people that you keep around. But on the other hand, if you keep people that are full of positive vibes, positive energy, they help you become the best version of yourself. They encourage you. They want you to reach your goals. They remind you to reach your goals. They're very supportive. It becomes really easy for you to, become a better version of yourself. So yeah. And the fourth thing that you need to take seriously in your 20s is your health. Okay? Your health is your wealth. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, your health is very important, because when you reach your 30s, it's not it's more about the effort that you put into your health. Okay, in our 20s we can get away with so many things, like your metabolism is really high, it's really good, so you can, you can get away with not working out, let's say for 2 or 3 months, and it won't be that bad. But in your 30s, you need the discipline, you need the consistency, because I don't want to say things start going downhill from there because I haven't been there yet. But I just think when you reach your 30s, there's just so much that happens in your life. So you need to take into consideration to take care of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, in all aspects of of your life. And your health, your physical health, the condition in which your body is one of those things that you really need to take seriously. Okay, so so the fifth thing that is on our list that we should all be doing in our 20s is to get our moral compass right. In your 20s, you need to really look deep inside you, figure out who you are, figure out what your morals are, what your values are, what you believe in, and what just sits well with you. Because in your 20s, you are now an adult, okay? You need to stand firm, you need to stand for what you believe in, okay? It could be somebody that is older than you, somebody that is younger than you, your friend, your partner, or anybody that might influence you into doing something that is not right. So if your moral compass hasn't really been conditioned, it's easy for it's easy for anyone to influence you or talk you into doing something that just doesn't sit right with you. And at the end of the day, your conscience is always going to be, nagging you and troubling you because you did something that did not sit right with you. So I find that when you do what sits with you, you get to be at peace with yourself, and it's easy for you to feel good about yourself, because for once you said no to something that doesn't make you feel good. You said no to something that doesn't benefit you in any way. You said no to something that isn't just right. So getting your moral compass set or right in your 20s is actually a very important thing. Okay, so moving on to the sixth thing on our list is you need to be saving money. If you haven't been saving money, you need to start saving money. Because our daily lives, your livelihood depends on your money saving skills. If you have bad saving skills, you're not gonna enjoy your adulthood. You won't. Unless maybe you come from a rich family and maybe you inherited a huge amount of money from your ancestors or your parents, then lucky you. But for some of us who really need to be careful, like you need to watch and save your coin, you need we need to start saving. Okay, so there are so many ways in which savings can benefit you. Okay, you can take care of yourself when you get sick, you can buy yourself food, you can buy yourself clothing, you can actually take care of those bills that actually are important and you cannot do without them. But if you don't save money, you always be that person that is borrowing money from friends, from family, or even spending the money that you do not have. Okay, or just finding yourself getting loans, which is really a bad thing to do in your 20s, because you shouldn't be getting loans in your 20s. You should be saving money. So if you guys might be interested in me doing a video on this topic, please comment in the section comment below so that I make a video just specifically on your saving skills, or rather the things that you should be the money mistakes that we all need to avoid. Okay, So moving on to the eighth thing that you should be doing in your 20s is traveling. Don't be like me, guys. Okay, do not be like me. I promise I'm gonna change. It's something that I'm working on. But ever since I was born, the only place I know is Kawe, Lusaka, and Livingstone. We need to be tourists in our own country. We need to know what Zambia is like. We need to just be everywhere, because I think in that way it just broadens up your mind, because you get to see how other people live in different parts of the country. You get to know so much about your country as well. You get to learn, you get to test different kinds of food, you get to meet different people. You just get to see life on a different perspective from a different perspective. Okay, moving on to our ninth thing that you need, I need, and everybody else needs to be doing in their 20s is learn to set goals. Okay, not only learn to set goals, but set goals for yourself. Okay, and if you do not get to reach those goals or get to a point where you are happy with yourself, do not beat yourself up about them. Okay, because when you set a goal, there is no failing, there is no downside to it. It's always a win-win. If you set a goal and you do not reach that goal, you have learned something. Now you know what you shouldn't be doing in order for you to reach that goal. Now you know what it's like to actually start and do something different. But if you don't do it, you never have that experience. And if you actually do set a goal and you reach that goal, you are a better version of yourself. You have grown, you have evolved, you have done something that maybe you did before but you have backslided, or you haven't done before and you've done it. Goals help you grow, goals help you evolve, and goals just make you wiser. They do. So you need to set goals. And then I also wrote down a quote, but I can't really remember where I read it from. I wish I did so that I could quote it. But this is what it says. It says, people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they do, what they can do in a decade. Okay, yeah. So when the year starts, January, everybody does this. We are here down writing down things that we want to do this year. Okay, and I don't know, but like 9 times out of 10 we don't actually go through with those things. Why? It's because we haven't actually sat down to think about what we actually want to achieve in the long run. Okay, you can set down small tiny weekly goals. Those weekly goals can help you to get to your monthly goals, and those monthly goals you set can help you get to your mid-year goals, and mid-year goals will help you get to yearly goals, and yearly goals will help you get to decade goals. That's just how it is, guys. You gotta start small and grow to something bigger, because if you set yourself up for, let's say, I wanna do something like maybe in 10 years time I wanna be there. Okay, but you gotta, it's good. I'm sorry, I set an alarm to actually be filming around this time, and I guess I started early, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. So back to what I was saying, you need to set small goals for yourself, because if you set huge goals for yourself, you get overwhelmed, and it's just going to be something that it's easy to give up on, because it's just too overwhelming. But if you do small goals, you set for yourself small little goals, like let's say weekly goals that are gonna help you. Oh my god, wow. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Whew. Bye. So many distractions. Anyway, this video had to be done, and I'm so glad that you guys are watching even up to now. You are the real one. You are the real, and you are the real one, and I see you. I see you. I see you. So let's get back into it. Yeah, like I was saying, you need to set small goals to get you to bigger goals. If you are not used to this, if you just dive right into bigger goals, you'll get overwhelmed, and it's so easy to just give up and say, you know what, I'm okay with just, doing things the way I normally do them. But if you set small goals is like they are warming you up for something bigger. And then when you get to that bigger thing, you've warmed up for something bigger. And that's just how it is. Before you know it, it's going to be, the year is gone. And you can actually look down and say, oh, I actually started with this goal, and I reached it. I got to this goal, and I did this, and I did this, and I did that. Before you know it, in a year, maybe you have achieved or reached 6 or 5 goals, which is amazing. And if you continue doing that, in a decade, you would have done so many things. You would have been completely a different, better version and evolved version of you than when you began. So yeah, that's how it's like. Goals are really important in life. So let's move on to the 10th thing that I should, you should be doing in your 20s. And this is quitting drugs. Okay, if you're somebody that that does drugs, please stop. Okay, and if you're somebody that doesn't do drugs, well and good. It's not easy to stop when you addicted or hooked to these things, but if you think of it, if you sit down and really think about it, it's not really worth it. Everybody has got a struggle, a battle that they are fighting, and if you decide to just use drugs because of whatever it is you're going through, it's like taking the easy way out, like just being a coward. The best way to solve problems in life is just face your problems head on, because if you don't, your problem is either always going to be there, or it's either just always going to be growing, and before you know it, it's going to be too big and you will be overwhelmed. You will be so terrified to even face it and try and solve it. So there's so many bad things really that come out of using drugs. I can't think of anything good that comes out of using drugs. Okay, drugs deteriorate your health. In the long run, you start having health problems. You start having kidney failures, liver failures, lung failures, and you need to take care of your body, because if you don't take care of your body, where are you gonna live? Nowhere. And you end up dead. I'm not saying you're gonna die. You could though avoid that if you just put in effort to stop drugs. Like, don't do drugs, guys. Don't do drugs and stay in school. Drugs also, they affect your judgment. You tend to have poor judgment when you're under the influence of drugs. You can make so many mistakes that will just mess up your life if you are under the influence of drugs. Okay, and people just aren't gonna have like faith in you. Like, you won't be that person that's really reliable if you're always under the influence of drugs, because nobody really wanna be around somebody who is always using drugs. So drugs ain't good, guys. Drugs are not good. Just don't do drugs. And then the other thing is, you tend to use so much money on drugs. It's nearly impossible for you to save money if you are always abusing drugs, because guess what, that addiction needs you to continue feeding it, like, and whatever little money you end up even using, the money that is meant for things that you actually need, like money for food, money for transport, money for clothing. You end up using it all for drugs, and before you know it, you are homeless because of drugs, which is a bad thing. Okay, So the other thing that drugs can actually affect in your life is anxiety. Okay, there is enough anxiety as it is, so you don't need the extra anxiety triggers that is being triggered by being under the influence of drugs. Okay, for some people, when they are high, it triggers the anxiety, and that is just not a good thing. Like it can actually result into someone maybe even doing or harming themselves, doing things that they don't really want to do, but because they're doing it because they're under the influence of drugs. Okay, the other thing that is not so good about drugs is that they're illegal. You don't want to end up in jail because you were abusing drugs or you were found in a possession of drugs. Drugs really are just not a good thing. Like, you need to stay away from drugs as long as it's not something that has been prescribed by your doctor. You don't need it for your well-being. You shouldn't be using it, you shouldn't be ingesting it, you shouldn't be administering it into your body. Stay away from drugs. And so guys, this brings me to the end of my video. If I left out anything, please let's interact. Comment in the comments down below. Add to the list. Feel free to give in any pointers if I left out anything that you think I should have mentioned right now. But other than that, thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for also the support that I got from my previous video. You guys are amazing, and I think I've said everything. You guys are amazing. You mean the world to me. Bye.